For our project, we did it on the Mayo Clinic. Our team name is called the Managerial Modifiers. The different team members we have with our roles, our team charter is Billy Joe Chavaria. The introduction and also interviewing for the managerial position was Helen Davidson. Recommendations was Kyle Stabler. And then also for recommendations and research was Mohammed Ibrahim. Creating the business plan was Ashley Mitchell. And then Brian Bernstein did the PowerPoint and also doing the video. To give a little bit of brief background on the Mayo Clinic, the Mayo Clinic is one of the top healthcare centers in the United States. It's actually been voted as the top hospital and health system for the 7th straight year. Here, there's more than 1 million people seen every year from people from all 50 states as well as international. There's going to be 3 major locations, Rochester, Minnesota, Jacksonville, Florida, and also Phoenix, Arizona. The Mayo Clinic was founded by Dr. Charles H. Mayo, and it's still one of the most prestigious and well-recognized names. The organization does pride itself on being a destination medical center in the Southeast. It's poured resources into cancer treatment, neurologic, and also neurosurgical care, as well as advanced radiologic technology, which is not available anywhere else in this region. It's one of the most prestigious hospitals, has doctors from all over. It's one of the best healthcare places that you could go. For our interview portion, we interviewed a manager at the Mayo Clinic by the name of Robinson. We learned many different things about the organization as a whole, how it operates, how it communicates, how diversity works as well. The first question we asked was how important is it to the organization to maintain a diverse workforce across gender and culture. He basically just let us know that communication is key. Diversity does bring a richness in our culture, and it's difficult to have without diversity. This is one thing that helps set the Mayo Clinic apart from others. The second question was, we asked if there were any inherent issues with managing a diverse workforce and how do you learn to cope. He let us know through his previous jobs, he had staff from different cultures, different ages, ethnicity, mental and physical challenges represented as well. Communication is the main thing he spoke about, mentioning it's incredibly important and challenging the more diverse you are. Time has to be invested to ensure common understanding exists and everyone feels and is heard in the decision-making process. We also asked if there were any communication tools that help assist in managing the workforce. He mentioned there's multi-channel communication strategies. It's necessary for people to understand their roles and responsibility. Everyone does have different learning styles, so it takes others longer to learn certain things, as well as get accustomed to the organization's policies and guidelines. Face-to-face meetings are critical in these positions. Also, with technology, you can do webcams, video, audio, simulation, everything of that sort. The last question we asked was what practices are effective or ineffective in communication with the workforce. How has it changed over time? They do have a great leadership structure, and leadership can assume, because they said in a meeting or shared in a memo, that the message was sent and received as intended. He finds that group discussions are very helpful. Online courses, self-paced learning is also good for some people. People can come back to content online if they need reinforcement. Communication changed over millennials, and it's an important part of the workforce and have different expectations around learning and communication. For our Explore questions, we basically focused on what are the current practices in the organization around how leaders use effective communication. Way Mayo Clinic uses communication is very key because it's such a diverse workplace. It's critical for the organization. Communication is done on a daily basis. They do prefer face-to-face meetings. They also use the use of technology, videos, audio, also simulation. There's different cultures here, differences, different learning, so they need to make sure that time is invested so that they are able to properly communicate as well. The second question we chose are what are issues involved in managing a diverse workforce and conduct necessary research to address these issues. Some of the major issues when managing the diverse workplace is definitely going to be the communication factor, especially in an organization as diverse as the Mayo Clinic. According to our interview with Robinson, time is going to have to be invested to ensure there's a common understanding between all employees. There can always be cultural or age difference along the way, but communication is always going to be the underlying factor. One way the Mayo Clinic does do this is by investing time and resources to make sure that everybody is going to be on the same page. Throughout our research, we learned many different things about the organization, and if we could come up with some recommendations for the Mayo Clinic, the main one we would have would be to increase diversity by creating a program to sponsor immigrants to practice medicine with the United States at their clinics. This would also increase inclusion and diversity and offer work for doctors who are unable to practice due to work permits or certification processes. Overall, the Mayo Clinic does do a great job with their workforce communication and overall growth and stability. One major thing that could help with the communication is we could recommend that technology continues to grow with the workforce, and also as time progresses, things are always going to be changing. We would recommend that there be a compliance dashboard, so it'd be set up to help track progress of trainings. We didn't share our recommendations with the company, but we do believe that if we did give them, we would receive many positive feedback. Some things that they could take away is they could take into consideration their already well-established brand name could further their talent pool of doctors by bringing in talent from across the world and further diversifying. We also recommend that technology would be incorporated. It can delay some downtime of the human work and make sure everyone is staying compliant and also productive. Throughout our research project, it was a great time learning about the organization, how they've continued to maintain excellence over the course of the years, grow into the other branches, and become pretty much a flagship for other hospitals to model after. One main thing that we did learn, it's remained one of the top healthcare facilities due to the diversity in the workplace and through communication. We also learned that the Mayo Clinic is committed to leadership by striving to make each clinic, patient, staff an accurate reflection of the communities they serve. They give back a lot, make sure everybody's happy with their job. They create a good culture with great morale. It's also one of the top places that someone would want to work at as well. We also learned that the Mayo Clinic strives to not only recognize and embrace the diversity of humanity, but to use that diversity to create cohesion within all aspects of HR and patient care. They do want everyone to feel like they're one big family. If you're just a patient coming in for the first time, if you've been working there at executive level, if you're a doctor, a nurse, anything of that sort. Finally, we did learn that with such a diverse workplace, communication is going to be key. Multi-channel communication strategies improvise in order to ensure people understand their roles and responsibilities. It starts at the Mayo Clinic with their leadership. They've set a model for all of their employees to follow. They drill that into everybody, even with the diversity. They stay with communication, make sure everything runs today. This project was a great learning tool for us, not only to see how the organization is properly managed, but also to see how leadership occurs. Through communication, diversity, the healthcare facilities continue to grow. It's going to stay strong and always be one of the top healthcare facilities in the United States.